Previously on the Jay and Dan podcast.
That would be a great sound effect if Dan was in a remake of Manimal. It just as a transition, if you're going from the police station to Dan's house, you just hear.
When you find out that it's 40% semen, 20% urine.
Oh God, could it at least be reversed on those two? At the very least, just guys just off in the water. Kielbasa and cheese and pickles. If you have someone sleeping with you.
Yeah, not that you have to worry about that.
Would you take a road trip with Dan, driving all the way to Saskatoon with only...
From here?
Yes, with only a Bottle Rocket CD.
No, that's an easy no, guy.
Thanks a lot.
Did think.
Thanks a lot. Masters.
Oh, right.
Next year.
Oh, together, you guys drive to the Masters.
But I'll be leaving you at the gate.
Yes! Boom, and that's how we end the pod.
Natasha, what? We love you, Miss Hannigan. It's a hard knock life for us.
You know what? Shut up!
You're listening to the Jay and Dan podcast, presented by our good friends at Coors Light.
Nice.
Dance.
It's the week of May 14th, 2018. Summer's almost over.
It started mid-March, as Dan mentioned on an earlier podcast, and now it's all coming to an end. It's unfortunate because today was, it was really the first nice day in Toronto since 2018 started, pretty much. There might have been one more. It was glorious today. God, it was great. Walking around the neighborhood, seeing all the Portuguese grandmothers, smiles on their faces.
Is there a tulip fairy? I've got tulips growing out the yin-yang.
Yeah, they're all over.
I didn't plant any.
Me neither. I've got a few. There's a bunch on my street.
Where are they coming from?
I don't know. Are the tulips do their spores travel through the air and just land in different spots? Is that what
Luckily,
happens
we've got
tulips?
Mark Cullen on the line. Mark, you there?
Oh, you've aged another 10 years in the last 2 minutes? Oh, Mark, you're disintegrating. It's like the end of the Avengers.
Mark Cullen's the home hardware guy. Can he go to a party without having to talk about a lawn?
No, he's not the home hardware guy. He's he's Mark Cullen. He's the lawn expert of Canada who just happens to have been hired
by home hardware. But seriously, he walks into a party. Hey, Mark, I have a few questions. It's just like a doctor when he goes to a party.
That's actually true. That's a great point. He must never leave the house because it gets so annoying for him. Even just going to the store. Imagine him trying to pick up actual gardening supplies at his local home hardware and everyone being like, oh, Mark, just one question. I know this must kind of annoy you, but I've got a bunch of tulips growing. Now, do spores travel through the air on their own? Mark, where are you going, Mark? Come back. Mark, why are you aging so quickly? That's the thing that concerns me about Mark Cullen. And listen, again, I know I look hideous, but he looks like he's suffered some sort of spell from a witch that has made him age way faster than any normal person should age. When we came back from LA, I was like, first time I saw him on TV, I was like, gah!
It's all that fertilizer.
Gah! There's something there that is not, he shouldn't be working with. One of those pesticides is
well, the
Roundup through his
Roundup
pores.
you can't get anymore. So the Roundup, it's behind lock and key.
Yeah, that's true. You have to go to the cashier, right, and get it? I did that last year.
And you got some?
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't make meth with it or anything. Is that why it's under lock and key?
No, it's because it's a horrible substance. It kills everything.
No, it's great though.
I know.
That's what you want.
Yeah, I need
It has
some.
changed my life, but that's why. Just because it shouldn't be in the hands of normal humans.
That's right. Off the top, we heard me singing an Annie song. I went to Annie with my daughters in downtown Toronto on Friday night at the beautiful Ed Mirvish Theater that used to be the Pantages.
Well, we're we're a little confused here because we don't know if the Pantages still exists, and Ed Mirvish might be a different theater just north of the Pantages.
I know.
It's right across from
It's
the
an extremely easy Google search. Neither of us have really cared that much to
No,
check.
we don't have time.
Brilliant production. Loved it. Oh, if you aren't into Annie, haven't seen the original movie, you won't like it.
If you're not into Annie, don't go see Annie. Dan O'Toole. That's your quote on the poster. If you're not into this musical, don't see it.
Just catchy tune after catchy tune. Went out at one point during the intermission. Asked the guy, I'm like, are we allowed to bring wine back in here? Looks at me, goes, as much as you can carry.
He drinks at lunchtime.
That's great.
And then I order a wine. Ruby looks at me. She goes, that is the smallest wine ever. I'm like, yeah, that was $8.
Ooh. Should have brought your own in your pants from the Orono liquor store. Little, right? Little half bottle.
Someone pointed out on the Orono Wikipedia site, I'm listed as mayor, so thank you for that, whoever put that up.
Nice. Someone, some podcast fan.
And speaking of Orono, we mentioned Mark Savard was coming on this week. That was a lie. We're having Bryan Bickell on, the pride of Orono, Ontario. He's going to be coming on the podcast. Golfed with him today, so he got swindled into this podcast.
And somewhat reluctantly is appearing, and that we certainly appreciate that. Mark Savard, we were kiboshed by the competition, apparently. Is that right?
He works for the competition, so I can see they didn't want
Competition, of course, Home and Garden Television. He hosts a show with Mark Cullen called Aging.
So we can talk about our round of golf at beautiful Wildfire in Peterborough. Oh, my goodness. It's maybe my favorite golf course in Canada.
Oh, I can't
Thanks
wait.
to
Is
Jeff and his crew who got us out there. But
Hold on.
Wait. No, Jeff didn't line it up. Pete Dalladay, who's called Peterborough Pete's Games Forever, he's the one who invited us out.
So
'Cause
you
he
golfed
was-
with Pete?
He was shooting a golf segment that Bickell got roped into doing as well. Bickell's like, why is there a camera here? I'm like, I don't know.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. What a life you're leading out there. And so we discussed this. You said all in your neighborhood, because there's an Ontario provincial election happening, that it's all PC signs, right? PC signs everywhere. And then downtown, like, and I don't know, hour and a half away, in my neighborhood, all NDP signs. All NDP signs. It's like we're living in two different countries, bordered by Oshawa or something like that. It's interesting to me. But yeah, my whole neighborhood is just super left. So I said to my wife today, I said, what would happen if I just put a Doug Ford sign on our lawn? Like,
welcome to the hiccups.
I kind of want to do it. I'm not going to vote
As a social experiment?
Yeah, kind of. Just to see. Because first of all, I bought the house and it was basically completely renovated, but we did a few things anyway, and those things took 8 months. So we had a porta potty on our front lawn for 8 months. And like the neighbors eventually were like, listen, wasn't this house renovated? Like, why is this porta potty?
They actually
here?
said that to
Oh,
you?
yeah. Yeah. They're like, what's, not in a bad way. They're
okay.
like just casually chatting. They're like, we noticed that there's been a on your lawn for 8 months. Is everything okay in there?
You should have told them, yeah, we took out the indoor plumbing.
Well, what I say is whenever we have guests, that's their bathroom. That's the one we tell them to use. Just walk out the front door in the morning, take a come on back in, we'll make you toast.
That's not a bad thing. They get free room and board.
I
Just have to
agree.
go outside.
But yeah, I just thought it would be kind of interesting to slap a Dougie Ford sign right on the front lawn there. See,
Right next to the porta potty.
Yeah, see what everyone had to say. I don't know. We'll see.
Okay, so I need your and Stoff's help. I recently joined a dating site.
Yes. Now we're getting into some good talk here.
Come on, it'll be fun.
Liked this one person, whoever they liked me back, and then she messaged me, said,
Oh no.
I never message on here. What's your email? So I'm like, okay, sent the email.
Oh no.
She sent one email through, said, is this email coming through? I put a thumbs up. That is the only response I've given her.
Okay.
And she has now emailed me 5 times. You ready for the emails?
Yes. Oh man, this is great.
Hello, stranger. Right now, I'm even more than sure that first of all, you looked at my photo and only then you opened my letter. Smiley face. Honestly, I did not expect so soon received a message from you. Oh. This is a pleasant surprise. Again, she asked for my email. She emailed me. I responded with a thumbs up.
So that was the first email?
Yes, this is her response to the thumbs up. Again, the only thing I've sent her is a thumbs up on email.
Okay, well, all right.
Wait.
Okay.
That's just the start of this email.
All right, trying to see the positive side.
Well, let me tell you a bit about myself. As you already know from my first message, I'm Olga. My friends call me Oli. I'm 30 years old, but I'm still a lonely lady. Never been married.
Oh, boy.
By character, I am kind, sympathetic girl. Probably you will be surprised. Right now, I'm in Russia. And my profile on the site from Canada. When I finished Institute in 2012, I traveled to practice in English and worked as a babysitter. It is in a small town in the province, Saskatchewan. It was like a fairy tale. I learned a lot about your country for 5 months. Stay there. Unfortunately, I had to go back, but I've never given up hope to visit your country again and maybe stay there forever.
Yes.
I have a good friend there, to be honest. It is she helped me to register on a dating site. Now I live and work in Orenburg, although I was born in a small township. Who lives there? My mother and brother. I try as often possible to visit them. I have friends, hobbies, okay, whatever. So I want to find a loved one to create a strong relationship. This is the most important thing for me. Age difference or nationality, not a problem for me at all. I'm interested in
You're
what is
much older than she is.
I'm interested in what is in his heart, what is in his mind.
There's nothing there in either case.
I just need a single man who's my best friend and faithful partner to whom I dedicate my life and I will love. Ooh. It's likely that I'm looking for you and you're the only one I need.
I can't agree more.
I am looking for a serious relationship for a nice man more than just a friend. I hope that you're looking for the same. Maybe you want to ask me why in the internet. So there are many reasons. Nowadays, with all our daily living needs, wants, and problems, with all the twists and turns, how is her English this good in some parts?
Yeah, it's a little, it's interesting because she's mastered the art of certain descriptive sentences, but then others not so much.
We often forget about the meaning of our life. We think so much and so deep in our mind about the future and that we completely forget about our present. Again,
that's true.
Some of the English, horrible.
Yeah, but that's a good sentiment, I think.
As a result, we're not living in the future as well as in the present. We follow different stereotypes, which were laid down by several generations, which we have never chosen. Probably nobody can say for sure why it should be only this way and no other. I do not know yet if the internet is a good way to find the second half of my heart, but nothing will stop me to try. Why not?
Yeah.
Every single moment we dream about a happy future, which must be full of joy and pleasures at sacrifice of our current time.
Why not, eh?
Certainly, if someone says that nobody can force us to live like this in any event...
Are we still on the second email?
Yes. So what I'm trying to say is that our life is in our hands. It is my first letter, and I hope a lot that it wouldn't be the last one at the same time. Answer me. I'm not asking too much. Give me a chance to become a friend. Let it be. Do not sit and wait for a miracle, and keep in your mind that everything that happens to us all is made for the best future. See you, Dan. Send you a big hello from Russia. Olga. P.S. I'll wait for your quick reply. I hope you'll not be greatly shocked by my letter. Please send me some of your pics from your life. And then, here, I'll show you the pictures of Olga.
Naked pics, I'm hoping. This sounds good. I like this prospect. This is very promising.
For sure, a real human.
Oh, that's a good picture. Yes. Okay, very nice. And her as well. I gotta say, she's very attractive. And I'm not even joking. I sound like I'm being sarcastic. She's extremely attractive. Yeah, we're not sure if that is actually her.
Okay.
So, I'm not sure what the problem is. Did you book her a flight, or?
Okay, so that's email number 1.
Okay. No, that's email number 2, right? Please tell me that was number 2.
This is the second one. The follow-up. I wrote you a letter and expect to get an answer. I do not want our relationship has ended on this. do not even begun. Again, her English is so bad at times. I want to continue to communicate with you. I look forward to your reply. Happy face, and another picture of Olga. Again, she's fully clothed in all these pictures. I should point that out.
Yeah, very attractive. I think, brings up some good points here.
And
you
here's
probably could have responded.
The next day. Good morning, my Dan. I would like to bake pancakes with condensed milk and berries to you for breakfast. Happy face.
Wow, that was very specific.
This extraordinarily delicious. Have a good day. I'll wait for your message for the day. Moi, your girl, Olga. Again, I have not responded to any of these.
Absolutely her man.
And then she sends another picture and then the picture of the pancakes.
Wow. So, looks like things are going pretty well on the dating site
and then
for you.
Got one today. Good day. I was expecting an answer from you this morning, but waited all day and get nothing. I am so shocked. You? I thought you were a brave man and not scared the girl. Smiley face. Let me know in any case.
She doesn't know you at all.
I look forward to hearing from you soon, Olga, and another picture of her smiling. And I finally responded. Olga, what's up? Question mark. How is Russia this time of year? Hey, what's the And there's where we are with Olga.
Wow. Well, so this is going to keep going now because you responded that way.
Oh,
Are you
I'm
pumped
just,
about that?
I'm just doing it for the podcast now. Because this is
and
definitely
it is Olgi, right? So that's her nickname? Olgi?
Oli.
Oli. Right? Like Oli the goalie, right?
So this is definitely a man named Boris.
This is a dude for sure.
This sending out like 400 of these a day, hoping.
Yeah.
Because eventually this is going to lead to just send me money for a plane ticket. I'll come see you.
Yeah, just a few thousand, please. But what if it isn't that, Dan? What if Oli is real, looks like the woman in those pictures,
But then she's insane.
and will make you pancakes with condensed milk and fruit, your favorite?
Calling me my Dan, and I've
Yes.
never responded to a message.
Well, get ready. It's going to get even better when she comes over and lives with you in Orono.
My wife.
You may be surprised that I'm in Russia.
That was my favorite part. That's great.
Maybe we should check the backstory in Saskatchewan.
Yes, maybe you should. You should look into that. I will say, now, is this dating site something that you found on the back of a milk carton or something?
No, I
Or-
just did like dating. I Googled dating site apps, and then I just
Is this, how many responses have we received here? Like, is this the only one so far?
Oh no, there's
Things are happening.
a ton. I just don't respond to the other ones.
Oh, okay. They're nothing you've particularly fancied to this point.
Just Olga.
Just Oli. Just Oli the goalie. What if it actually was Olaf Kolzig?
Hey, he's a legend.
Yeah. Find yourself on a date with Olaf
He and I
Kolzig.
can just smoke darts. Oli, hey, you like it in Calgary?
Wow, that's
Oh, sorry. I was thinking of not Olaf Kolzig is Washington. I was
Yeah.
thinking of Mika Kiprusoff.
Kipper. Yeah.
Kipper
Is
liked the
Kipper
darts.
back in Finland now? Like, man, he retired in such a quiet way for such a dominant goaltender for so long.
It is freaking hot in here.
It is hotter now. It was cool when we first came in. Maybe you're just feeling the heat from Oli and what your next move is going to be. You don't want to mess this up, buddy.
What if she hears this podcast
Oh,
and then
God, I hope so. Well, we were big in Russia thanks to our Sochi appearances. There's nothing to say that she isn't listening to this live right now on shortwave Russian radio. Oh, my Dan is talking about me.
I was going to say, instead of how's the weather in Russia or how's Russia this time of year, I was going to say, you a big Putin guy? Said, I saw 5 goals. 5 goals last week. Pretty good.
That was incredible. If you didn't see it, Vladimir Putin played his annual, what seems to be a charity hockey game against the likes of Pavel Bure, where he can barely stand, much less shoot, and scores 5 goals as everyone stands around and watches him snipe from the slot.
So I mentioned it during that highlight pack. are those people playing him terrified?
Well, they certainly aren't stupid. I mean, they know that they can't cross-check him in the face. How
No,
funny
I'm
would
saying,
it be
like,
if someone did, though.
If they they were trying to let him score and he couldn't score, and then they're like, "Oh, we're done."
Yeah, no, they have to, literally, they have to allow him to score, allow him to, like, he's terrible. Like, it would be fine if he was even marginally good. He can barely stand on his skates.
I love how different Canada is. If Justin Trudeau got out in a pickup game,
Everyone would destroy him. People would be slashing him on the back of the legs. And
no, it'd be even harsher if he played like a ball hockey game. Guys who take ball hockey seriously, oh, boys, watch out for your shins.
yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Wow, I'm just transfixed by this. Can we get every week different emails from your dating sites? And we'll, Stoff, can we maybe come up with a segment title for that? Dan's dating emails.
So in all honesty,
Oli's correspondence.
when I first gave my email, and then I was thinking that, I'm like, can someone hack into your computer by your email? So I changed my password on my email account.
Why wouldn't you just keep it to the site? You're at a moment of weakness.
Our guest is Bryan Bickell, Stanley Cup winner, and we were discussing Olga in the car ride back from golf, and Tubesy, who also played golf with us today. And Bryan, you guys were no help in how I should respond to my new Russian bride.
Well, I have 2 words for it. I say, not real. That's all I got.
I don't know, though, Bryan. I think maybe he should keep this going just a little while longer, just in case she really does look like the woman in the pictures. Because then that would be like a
Like, who is the
romantic
woman
comedy.
from the pictures? Do they just get someone and said, okay, we're paying you
That's Olga.
We're paying you for these pictures, and then we're just gonna not tell you what we're using them for.
Yeah, it's a great question. I don't want to know the answer. How did Toolsy golf today, Bryan?
He golfed actually not bad. He's been out a while. I noticed, with the shift work, working late, and then he's got the days off. I think he's been golfing a lot. So, he actually got the win on the last hole with the big birdie. So, hats off to him. But all the golf courses in Durham region, I think he's going to be borrowing clubs off of because he doesn't like his driver. He had to rent the club. He's like, where's the driver? And he just got the new M3, and not a big deal. And that was his best club in the bag.
Yeah, so I went in and I said, because I actually am looking for a driver, and I said, do you have any demos? And the guy's like, yeah, sure. He peeled off the wrapping on a brand new club. So I was hammering that driver, and then I brought it back in. I said, what's your deal on used clubs? Because this one's been used. He said they're for sale at the end of the year, so didn't buy that club. By the way, those clubs are $650. That for a driver. I did not know drivers were that expensive.
Well, that's nothing for you, and you're going to get out there and you're going to be golfing 36 a day for the entire summer.
That's right. You, Tubesy, Bickell, and me.
The 3 of you, 5 days a week.
You're going down to a tournament in Chicago.
Yeah. I got actually invited to the Michael Phelps event. I'm looking forward to that. It should be a pretty big event. I'm going to give you like a Joe Schmo with all the celebrities going there, but it should be a good event with the city that I played hockey in.
Have you looked at the list of who's going to be in the tournament?
I have.
Ooh. Do tell.
I briefly, it was late. The wife kind of showed me, and then it was like, I'm half asleep, so she didn't really. I can't really remember. I can't remember what we did this afternoon. So.
Well, I have one question for you. Is Olga the woman that will eventually be the second Mrs. O'Toole on the list?
The way he was talking, he had confidence, but I said I don't believe it. So.
Yeah, I don't know where this dating site is. This doesn't sound like a dating site. It just sounds like Hotmail. It sounds like got something in his spam folder and responded to it.
So, Bryan, what have you been doing in retirement?
I've been traveling actually quite a bit, working, with the company that, actually it's called the company's called Biogen. So it's the drug that I take. Just kind of telling my story to a lot of people, If people just got diagnosed with MS or, families that are going through it, things like that. It's been keeping me busy, a lot of charity work and with our foundation and watching, being a stay-at-home dad. I got 2 kids, they're under the age of 4, so it's been, definitely a handful.
And it's just talking with you casually during golf and stuff and mentioning things that trigger your MS. Like you said, if you go into the hot tub or your steam room, you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, it's funny. I just built a house. I got a hot tub I wanted to enjoy and a steam shower. MS with the heat, obviously you can do it. It sucks. You just got to suck it up. But, avoid different things. When I was playing, it was, tough, but you got to stay cool in different ways. And I'm just going to kind of avoid, the hot areas when I can.
Have you told all your former teammates in Chicago that the reason they had an off year this year is because you're no longer on the team?
I don't want to say, but the seems like a couple playoff or, they got swept by St. Louis and things like that. I didn't play, so it doesn't look, good for them the last couple of years. But they're going to make adjustments. It's going to be. I feel like it's still going to be rough, but they're going to do the best and to try to make the best team. So I know a lot of players and want to play in Chicago because of the atmosphere in the city and the history.
Now, how have you gone with regards to watching hockey since you retired? Because I know guys that retired and they're like, I try catch a game, but don't know who's playing well, who's doing what. Do you still call yourself a fan?
Yeah, I think I'm more of a fan than I was before. I know, playing when, after, say, if you lose in the, playoffs, you kind of just turn off the TV. You don't want to see, you just kind of see the highlights. But now, being out for a full year, I've been keeping in touch with a lot of games. Obviously, being near the Toronto region, you want to watch you get the Leafs on a lot to see what their upswing is of talent and young players that, hopefully it's going to be positive for a long time. And just seeing your older teams and how they're doing, it's been fun. I think it's been the most hockey definitely I've been watching, and now watching, this playoffs with the Vegas run and then having Winnipeg. I just watched the first period. Obviously, Winnipeg was all over them, but that's playoffs. Momentum swings, and Vegas is up 2-0.
I told you I wanted to ask you about Dustin Byfuglien, who might be playing his best hockey ever right now. What was it like being around that guy? He seems like he could be unhinged.
Yeah, he's got a game. I think, this playoff it suits his hockey. Like for me, when I played, I think, the playoff atmosphere, the hitting and the hard game helped my game. I think, with his run that he had in 2010 with the Hawks, and he was playing forward actually at the time, he was just a powerhouse. People were scared to go on the ice with him because he's going to hit you. You got to feel it for, years afterwards. It's powerful. He's skilled. He's a force. And I know that first period wasn't, what he was looking for, but you can guarantee that, the next couple of periods he's going to be a huge part.
Speaking of former teammates, let's play a little game. We did this with Chris Phillips when he was on with us. Just a little snippet about these names of former teammates that we're going to give you. You played with Peter Bondra?
Peter Bondra, yeah, I think for like a game.
The special agent. What a sniper, man.
And what do you think of me? What I think about him?
Yeah. Did you guys even talk if you only played a game?
No, it was like one of my first games I ever got called up, so I didn't really say much at all. I just kind of went through the motions, and that was it.
Okay, how about Captain Serious, Jonathan Taves?
He's a great dude. They always said Captain Serious because he did have the captain young, and then for a young guy, you kind of have to be serious. I think as the years went on, he kind of loosened up, and I think he's getting a lot better. But a huge leader and on and off the ice. His work ethic is everything. It's the big package of what a captain, a leader is. He's Jonathan Taves.
Duncan Keith.
He's crazy, actually.
Really?
Yeah, he's a little crazy. He does a lot of different things that I don't know to say they're superstitious, but he's 100,000,000% all hockey, and he's dialed in. That's why he's done so good. The medals, the cups, and all that. He's crazy so much about hockey. He's so dedicated. Some of the things he does, it's mind-boggling.
Can you tell us like one superstition thing that jumps to your mind?
I remember him like pregame meals. Like we would have our normal pregame, and just the way he eats. I remember he'd give me like a Gatorade cup, cracking like 4 eggs in the Gatorade cup like Rocky, and just starts drinking them. I'm like, what? Like he just drinks raw eggs with Gatorade. It's just,
Oh, God.
What is going
yeah.
on there?
Here's one out of left field. Marty Turco.
He's a beauty, actually. That guy is one of the funniest guys I think I've ever played with. Played with him for a year. Then he retired, but his attitude behind hockey was, a fun one. He was, serious. He was still in the, end of his career, but he made coming to the rink and joking around and having a good time, being a part of them, and the meals we go with and the stories he tells over the years he's played. Obviously, I can't tell all, but
I remember when the shootout started, he would start the shootout sideways in net. It was very odd.
He would, I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was funny. He's a funny dude. I know he's still in the Dallas area, but it's nice to see him once in a while.
Just a few more. Marian Hossa.
Marian Hossa, that's my roommate, somewhat. You could say my roommate, but for the 6 years I was in Chicago, we were stallmates. I sat beside him. Most of the time, he usually had like another Czech or Slovak beside him, so they're just basically talking some gibberish. So I kind of learned some Slovak and Czech over the years, but he actually helped me through the years of, my first couple of years to kind of, what to do. He's played over, 1,400 games and I think 1,000 playoff games.
And no one's ever said a bad word about him.
No, he's a great dude. He's a positive guy. He's funny. He's been over here for 20 plus years with being in the Dub, and he still doesn't think he can speak English. But he's a great dude.
Okay, and the final one, just so I can say his name, Jeff Skinner.
Jeff Skinner, yeah, he's I always call him 10 to 2 because he always has his legs. He does that figure skating move, I could say. He opens up the hips. I call him 10 and 2. He's a good guy. He's kind of like a Duncan Keith. He's a wild card. He's focused. He does different things, superstitious, before and during and different games like that. For the year I was there, it was, definitely nice to get to know him. And, he's a really skilled player. I think there's something, if I had to change about his game, would be definitely his curve on his stick. I kept on telling him, I don't know how. If you had a different curve, you would score at least 20 more goals. But,
What, like a bigger curve or smaller?
Bigger curve. You use I don't even know what it was. Back in the day, maybe like a Medano, or I don't know if you guys remember your sticks. There was a Lindstrom, Medano, Sackett. I think he used like a Medano -1. It was just terrible. I don't know how he did it, but he's a good player, and it's fun to play with him.
How, just give me on a scale of 1 to 10, your level of disappointment when you built a house in the Orono area. You were excited to retire, only to find that Dan O'Toole had moved to town and destroyed your property values.
I think I was actually pretty excited.
You greeted me. You came to town to officially greet me.
I did.
Do you do that to every new resident?
I saw your mug on the side of the street. I was going to meet you in a week, so I'm like, I better pull over and introduce myself. But it was, I think, a definitely value of the positive, just attitude he's bringing. He's pumping Orono up and it's good. I like it.
But
Now
Brian, every business is closed since he arrived.
Every business was closed before he arrived, too.
So we're just gonna have to reopen that bank in town, you and I. And
Yeah, everything's closed. Like the liquor store. The
it's
bank.
easy to start a bank. It's all good.
That's right. That's right.
Brian, we really appreciate coming on, and I can't wait to play golf again and use your pool, which I said I will do since you said you never use it.
Sounds like a plan. Thanks.
Thanks, Brian.
That's Bryan Bickell, Stanley Cup winner. It's on the sign when you drive into Orono.
Not bad. Not bad. That was pretty fun. I mean, still wonder about Oli and how
Guess
things
what?
are going with her.
Oli's on the
She's
line.
on the line. We've got her on the line. That is wonderful.
Hello.
I am happy to see you.
Yes.
Danny's good looking.
What if I sent, let's FaceTime right now?
Oh, God, that'd be great.
What are the odds? What would the excuse be? Oh, can't. No iPhone.
Send it. Send it right now. What do you have to lose?
No, she's sleeping probably. What's the time in?
She'll get up. We flustered Dan a bit.
No, I was thinking of a Russian man's name. I was going to say like Boris. He's sleeping.
It's Boris Yeltsin. Oh, he's dead. He died.
Christoph, can you look up something for us? Can you look up the time currently? Let's get Olga's location because she did give us the city. She is.
This is Russian time zone talk on the Jay and Dan podcast. A lot of great feedback for Natasha's appearance last week, Christoph? Like everyone was raving. I thought it was wonderful, and really the best part to me was how she systematically shut down the idea of traveling any long distances with Dan or to anywhere with Dan. What I really loved was her assertiveness. She didn't beat around the bush. She just said, this isn't happening, and that was the end of it.
Okay, so she's in Orenburg, which is...
Kind of like Orono. It's meant to be.
Orenburg, Russia, time.
Orenburg.
It's 6:13 a.m. there.
Oh, perfect. So she's just getting up and preparing her condensed milk pancakes. Fire up the FaceTime.
Oh.
Fire it up.
Christoph's got 7:14. Either way.
Even better. Okay, so send the request.
Well, remember, I asked how things are in Russia. I said, how's Russia this time of year?
How's Russia doing? Hey, quick question. Does the carpet match the drapes for you? Like, are your pubes going gray as well?
No.
Okay, interesting. Interesting, because mine are just dark as the night. And I wondered, like, do other men's pubes go gray? I think they eventually do.
Oh, speaking of pubes in that region, I asked Tubesy for an update. He says nothing. He says it's okay down there.
Oh, good. So,
Tubesy is the...
keyhole.
Tubesy's our buddy who had penis surgery to enlarge the hole on his penis because it was closing up.
It's closing up.
And he had to put an ice pick into that hole every day.
And not an actual ice pick, though. It was like...
And I mentioned how he is going to Las Vegas for an EDM festival. And we want him to bring back a pool sample from a Vegas pool at the end of the day. They are gung-ho. They're going to bring back several, I think.
Oh, just one is good. The bit doesn't need more than that. Tell them just one.
They are pumped.
Now, make sure they only bring back one because then they couldn't get it through security.
Well, if more try, then at least one will slip through.
Holy man, that's going to be disturbing.
So, okay,
I'd love to just look at it, just to see it visually.
So if any listeners in the Toronto region know of somewhere where we can get that pool sample tested, well, let us know.
Can't we just Google pool sample testing?
I find our listeners are easy. Like when I mentioned we were
well, they're easy, all right.
When I was going to PEI, I've had so many people helping with travel tips for when my girls and I go to PEI this summer. It's been amazing. Thank you very much for sending those.
Oh, that's different though. That's, they want you to have a good time. I like that. I like when Americans who are going to Winnipeg to cover the Cup Finals are saying, where should I go? What should I do? I'm like, yes, this is the right approach. Don't just show up and be like, I can't find anything. I didn't like it here. Yeah,
and the other jokesters on Instagram when I responded with when I told the tale of how people send me messages, hi, on direct message, and I open them and they say, like, why didn't you respond? Got about 60 of those.
Yes, keep sending those messages to Dan on Instagram. Just, hi. Hey.
And then they respond like, I saw you open that. And then they kid around then. So
well, that's the thing.
it's all good.
I don't know how people can tell if I've opened something. That's how dumb I am. It like texts everything. They're like, well, you read it. I'm like, you noticed that?
We are so old. So I was trying to send a picture of a waterfall to Braden, one of our camera operators, who's a very talented artist. He painted your garage.
Yes,
and he's going to paint a picture for me. And we could.
Of a waterfall.
My picture would not send to his phone. We don't have the same phone. He had to take a picture of the picture on my phone.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's very sad.
Well, here to talk more about taking pictures of pictures on phones is our good friend and co-host of the Taggart and Torrens podcast, Mr. Jeremy Taggart.
How's it going, boys?
I'm going to be seeing Jeremy tomorrow.
Yeah.
You guys going to be swinging the sticks?
Yeah.
We're going to be swinging the sticks, yeah. It'll be good times. Great to see you guys. I want to see you soon there, Jay. What's going on? Maybe we can saddle up at Ronnie's or something.
I would love that. That would be fantastic. I miss you. It's been far too long. You've got a lot going on right now. You guys are about to embark on a tour.
Yes, we hit the road on the 24th. We start in Sarnia, then we
Home
go
of the Sting?
Yeah, and on the 24th, and then 25th, we rock into Waterloo.
Oh, boy.
At Maxwell's, and then we're in London.
That's a nice
at
time.
Rum Runners, which is a great little spot. And then we rock out to the Casbah in Hamilton, the Kingston Mansion, and then Ottawa on the 29th to round out the month.
That sounds.
That's a nice little Ontario tour.
Yeah, it is. We're going to have a nice little Canadianity summer run is what we're going to do.
Do you have like a Scooby-Doo van?
Well, we do because we have the drums and the guitar now. It's almost like it's like the Inbreds back in the day. Remember two-man band?
The Inbreds, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So just the two of you. Yeah, you're like the White Stripes, but without Megan's big boobs.
Just the two of us in a Yari.
Remember The Reason, the band out of Hamilton?
What?
The Reason, the band out of Hamilton, they shot The Longest Highway Home or The Longest whatever, their big hit.
That, yeah.
They shot that playing in a van, that video.
Oh, yeah, that's right. They're jamming in the van.
Yeah.
Remember they have those tiny concerts in the van? Don't they do that in America? And that's a Pitchfork thing, isn't it, Jay?
Oh, I have no idea. I only read the reviews. I just jump on the reviews.
What's going on, boys? What's going on? What are you guys doing? What's happening?
Oh, we're just excited for summer. We were talking about tulips. Do you know how tulips neither of us planted any tulips. We got them everywhere in our yards.
Yeah?
Where do they come from?
Well, they just show up from probably from some guy who planted them 8 years ago, and he was doing that, having a rip and throwing some seeds in their backyard.
Yeah, we can't figure it out. They're everywhere.
What do you mean they're everywhere?
They're all over my neighborhood. I figured it was like they were that was spores traveling through the air and.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, well, that's fun. That's nice, isn't it? For once?
It's lovely. I mean,
it beats locusts.
Oh God, yeah. It beats the plague for sure.
The plague, see? Hey, so are you guys allowed to talk about the hockey game at all or not?
Yeah,
well,
sure.
It'll be dated. We're watching it right now, but it'll be dated by the time
we can
this comes
talk
out.
about it.
Yeah.
It'll be dated, yeah. So it seems like it's going to be like a haymaker coming back from the Knights right now.
Yeah,
so back and forth. I think she's going to even up. Maybe looks like.
Yeah, because from what I saw in the first period, Winnipeg played great, but it just didn't result in what they wanted. Though it looks like they're playing pretty good again here.
I'll tell you what they're playing like. What the people want is a good hockey series. And that's what we're getting.
We had this discussion on the golf course today. What an hour a difference makes on a start time. Saturday, the game started at 7. That makes the difference. A huge difference for kids staying up and watching half the game, if not all the game.
Central time is the best.
they talk about growing the game, and then they put a game on at 8, starting at 8 o'clock.
And Major League Baseball
Wednesday.
playoffs, the same. Horrible.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that. It doesn't make any sense.
You can't
Well,
grow
they're
the game that way.
They're trying to capture as much of the countries they can, and they figure, 5 o'clock Pacific and 8 Eastern, they're getting as much as they can. But you're right, like it just everybody over.
How much of a gong show is things going to be now with this betting being
I
starting?
love it. I love it. Toolsy, you got to be fired up about this.
Yeah, you're like, okay, Chapman's on the mound. I got to. What are the odds on him? Throwing 101.
You know what it's going to be, Jeremy? You know what it's going to be? You know how Al Michaels, when he calls games now, he's so bored because he's put all the money on the games now, and all he talks about is how the line is affected and who covered and who didn't. That's Toolsy on all the highlights now. It's going to be.
It's not going to change my view of sports because I've already been gambling on games and I haven't bet on one in forever. But our good friend from ESPN, Arash Markazi, he was sending out some great tweets today. People saying, oh, Vegas must hate this. And as he pointed out, no one goes to Vegas just to bet on sports. I've been to Vegas a million times. I've bet maybe on one game.
I always do just because it's there.
Yeah.
But nobody, you're right. Nobody goes there specifically for that reason. If you're a degenerate sports gambler, you have a bookie.
Yes.
Right?
You see the handful of guys that are there, and they look like that, like you said, just bookies that are keeping an eye on everything.
That's right. Exactly. I love those guys. That's who I want to hang out with in Vegas.
Yeah,
But
no
People go to Vegas to experience Vegas now. They go for the dining and parties and semen-filled pools.
you're going to want to take the Celtics tonight. They changed the varnish on the floor there.
I used to have, so I've mentioned this show before, when I hosted a sports show in Fort McMurray, Alberta, 11 a.m. on Saturday morning on the radio. And somehow I called a casino once, and I got like the guy in charge of the sports book, and he was straight out of the Bronx. This guy was amazing. And then one time I called back, they're like, yeah, he doesn't work here anymore. Don't know what happened to him.
he died.
Do not know what happened to him.
We're not sure how.
Sent up state. Oh, man, that's great. I love the
what about
gambling. What's that?
Sorry, Jeremy. I was just going to say Todd Furman. We used to have a former sportsbook guy from Caesars come on the Fox show with us. And he was so young, and I was like, how did this guy get into this? Who does he know? He must have so many secrets. He was also the guy who made me, when I went to the Spearmint Rhino, he said, just talk to Black Mike and he'll let you in. And then the guy at the Spearmint Rhino said, well, we do have a guy working here named Mike, and he is black, but we don't call him Black Mike.
But we don't call him that.
Oh, no. That's a terrible move. That's awful.
That's Todd Furman for you.
Not a good icebreaker at all.
No. I still went in and enjoyed myself. Don't get me wrong.
Well, you know what? One thing, like
I was there.
These sports, like the guys who set the odds, they love it. They make so much money, like on like Tiger Woods alone.
Oh,
they say, okay, it's 10-1, so that like they make so much money, and they never ever are gonna they know that he's not gonna win, so they just take so much, and they'll change the odds where everyone thinks from the odds that he's definitely gonna win. It's all to make money, and they make so much because of that. If they made the odds reasonable, people wouldn't bet.
Yeah, exactly. No, the lines exist so that we will never make money ever. And it is amazing, like working in the newsroom with all the young cats in the newsroom and seeing the ones who started sports betting and how into it they get. And then there's that little glimmer where they think they're going to be the ones who beat the odds.
Oh,
they're going to be the ones who beat the system. It's so magical. I like to watch it play out, And
well, you're right, because it's enough to maybe have a streak to win 2 or 3 games in a row on team. But once people start getting fired up, they got like 4 or 5 things in their brain. What do they think is going to happen? They're going to win like every game on Saturday for the next 3 months, and then move to Dubai.
I remember filling out the pro lines for a busy Saturday night, and you bet $5, and it's like, oh, I'll win 10 grand. Perfect. I'm going to win all these. Don't win a single one.
Like John Daly, he spends all that money. He spent he made 30 and spent 40 million or something.
Yeah,
but it was
Barkley.
all on slot machines. It's not even like a game you can have any control. But that time, remember when he came in second to Tiger in Vegas, made $750,000, and he went right directly to this one slot machine because it was $100,000 for one coin. And he was like, I got the odds were just too much. I had to do it.
Yeah.
He lost everything within like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All gone.
Yeah, it's dangerous. But you're right. The slots is really where you're just like, I'm throwing it all to chance. No skill whatsoever. I surely will be the one.
The guy with the dangling dart at the nickels, that's the only guy that's doing it right.
Oh, yeah. No, I love walking through the slots and just people watching. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Just the people sitting there and they pick their machine and they've always had the same machine. And, you know, it's.
And you see Pete Rose sitting at the table.
Oh,
Pete.
geez.
Oh, God. It's gotten worse, Jeremy.
Hey,
It's gotten worse.
Was it like get to the point where it's like cable guy for Toolsy? It's like, hey, I'm in Vegas. Let's go. I'm here.
No, he refused the trip. He had a chance.
I
He
had
was
a
going to
chance
drive
to
him
make
there.
that drive with Pete Rose, and probably best I didn't.
Well,
Did you guys always see Jose Canseco there, all just like trying to get something going?
no, never saw Canseco. Never caught a sniff of Canseco.
We're at Fox.
Yeah, never.
Never?
No, I think the word was out. He wasn't. The one that was most surprising by far was A-Rod, and then how good A-Rod ended up being. Like when he first showed up, it was like, A-Rod? Like this is gonna be a disaster. Like he's gonna be terrible.
Here's a guy who's making $20 million a year, but it'll take like that just to stay on TV.
I think he just doesn't know what to do with himself. But then he's pretty good. Like he's good at it.
No, but that's the thing. I guess they look at it as like, well, this is the way I can kind of continue my brand and show up at these shows and sign baseballs for $100,000 for a day.
Yeah,
I think it's just getting out of the
public
house.
eye.
Yeah. But also like literally, what's he gonna do? Like it's the same with Jeter. Like people are on Jeter for all this Marlins stuff, but what else is he gonna do? Like just stay home all day? It's like Dan's theory about NHL assistant coaches. They all just want to get out of the house. That's really it.
No, what's the name with baseball? Like for third base coaches that have been in the league for 42 years. Like seriously?
Yeah. How weird is it? The wife turns to him like, "Oh, you're here every day now."
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Right?
It's crazy.
Yeah,
because baseball is like 300 days a year. That's how bad that is.
That's an
hardcore.
understanding. That's a marriage of understanding. It would be, Dan said it would be weird if they weren't coaching
like
third base for the Marlins.
A truck driver, a tour bus driver, just gone.
Yeah.
Gonzo.
Yeah. See you later.
Minus the pee jugs.
We had one bus driver that was old, and he had like 5 wives. Like he was on his 5th wife.
Oh, yeah.
Just because they got sick of him being gone every time.
Yeah. Well, so wait, Dan brings up an interesting point. When you would tour, when you guys were starting out, Jeremy, were pee jugs in the mix, or did you actually do the civilized thing and just stop?
On the bus, there was a toilet, so there was just no dumps, right? Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Right. No poos.
No dumping in the bag. that was
but before that, like vans, that kind of thing, like yeah.
Oh, I've pissed in a cup.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, you got to do it. You got to keep that train moving.
The big gulp. Yeah, man. I've had a big gulp and actually been like, "Hey, boys, it's getting close."
It's tough. It's tough peeing into a cup or a bottle when you're driving because you can't look down to see if you're near the top.
Come on, Toolsy. What the hell are you doing that? You can't drive and do that.
Oh yeah, you can if you're making good time.
Oh no, that's no.
It never ends up. It never ends up well because there's always splatter and dribble and spilling. And
that's incredible. How do you pull it out and then get the?
Anybody who's done it while they're driving has probably also done it like in the can, where it's like you have to get the tip right in the hole, or else you.
Yeah, the way you do it, you put your seat all the way back, the steering wheel up, and then you have to like prop yourself up, and it's on cruise control, and then hold the bottle. But again, you don't know when you're getting near the top.
This is not something people should try.
We do not recommend this to people.
No, that's when
Dan's pee
adventures. When I was young and foolish because I was doing the time.
Clearly, it was one of those like, my parents aren't home. Come over. He's like, I got to piss, but I'm going anyway.
It was one of those where I was like driving to Ottawa, and I'm like, if I get there at this certain time, then okay, we're still going to have a good night. So I'm like,
That's right.
I'm not pulling over.
No. Or you
I'll
do
waste
the Ronnie,
10 minutes.
You do the Ronnie and just like let her go on the pants.
Yeah, you could do that too.
The James Henchcliffe, yeah.
That's getting to the point where I might just start doing that. Not just in a car.
Why are those PJ stock pants on there?
PJ stock.
Those things where you those piss underwears that he wears.
Yeah, the Depends.
Oh, I forgot he did the Depends ads.
The PJ Stocks boxer brief pissers.
PJ is thriving still in Quebec television. We hadn't seen him forever, and then he was in Pyeongchang working for the CBC. He's doing okay.
Well, he's better. My point is just that you could wear those things and you could have a piss.
I know that.
You could actually drive. Maybe you could drive to like the Sioux or something.
That's true. Tulsi,
Right.
you ever think of that?
And keep going to Thunder Bay.
How about forget just driving? Just wear them all the time, just to save time.
When you're like trying to watch next time you go to a tennis tournament.
Yeah.
Jay.
Exactly.
Right?
Or just any time I leave the house and I constantly have to piss, then I wouldn't have to stress out about that.
Why doesn't Depends do that as a slogan? Making good time? We're here for you.
Yeah. And we would completely love to be spokespeople for that campaign.
I have no issues.
You guys should get Peter Garrett on the pod. Midnight Oil.
Oh, God, that'd be great. Is he still in Australian politics?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, he's always up for a good chat.
Hey, I have a quick question for you, Jeremy. We have a provincial election coming up. I was saying that in my neighborhood, it's all NDP signs, and Dan in his neighborhood, it's all PC signs. What's the sitch in your neighborhood?
I don't. I mean, I think I myself am leaning NDP.
Mm-hmm.
I've just kind of been that way a lot since growing up, and then I blame Bob Ray for wrecking anything that happened with that party.
By the way, Jeremy, can I just stop you there? It is amazing how badly Bob Ray f***ed up that
that was
now,
like 20 years ago.
Even now, where you have a candidate on the right that seemingly everyone can't stand, a premier that everyone hates even more, and it seems like Andrea is should just have a clear route to the finish line, and yet everyone's bitterness about Bob Ray, which was like a quarter of a century ago.
I know. It pisses me off, period, that people actually are still, they pick the party and not the person, when the person is everything. And
it's amazing how bad.
It really blows my mind that people actually were like, well, it's those liberals. I've been a liberal my whole life. Like, you're an idiot then, because you've got to think about the fact that there's people that you're voting for, not just one party from 20 years ago. It's so stupid.
What do you think about my idea earlier in the podcast? I said I was going to slap a Doug Ford sign right on my front lawn. Right in the middle of lefty Toronto, just right in the downtown core.
I was saying, how's this French? Hey, boys, find a t-shirt
Bonjour.
there. Get your jackets on.
It's good talking to you, buddy.
Hey,
I miss you.
Yeah.
Jeremy, thanks for joining us. Send me a text. I still don't know what time we're playing tomorrow.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out. And got to go for the free dental. That's the best move for the kids. So NDP, bot.
Oh, they got free dental?
Okay.
That's huge. Yeah,
That is
I'm all in. Just that's enough.
Yeah, that is enough. Count me in on that.
Teeth should be health care. Like, people can die from problems that start in their mouth. So,
oh yeah.
Just anyway, that should have been on the docket already. But there we go.
Okay.
Let's go, boys.
All right, go, Andrea. Here we go.
Talk to you soon, bud.
See you, buddy.
See you tomorrow.
That was fun. Missed that guy.
I haven't talked to that guy forever.
Great energy. You guys are going to swing the sticks tomorrow. I love it.
Oh, it's going to be like our kickoff round for the summer of Jeremy and Dan.
Yeah. And then you guys tag team Oli.
Well, you can't.
What? No.
Christoph, can you beep that out?
No. Yeah, you can't beep that out.
No.
That's a big part of the
Because then Olga will come back and sue us or something.
No.
Every Olga in Russia.
No, she'll be happy about it.
She has not responded to my email. We will have an update on Olga next week.
Looking forward to that. In fact, more than that, we will have Olga on the podcast.
In studio.
In studio. She'll fly straight over from, what was it, Orenburg?
Yeah.
And Orenburg sounds
just
made
cut
up.
to Boris sitting there with 4 days stubble and a blonde wig on.
Just imagine Sasha Baron Cohen.
Olga.
My wife.
Well, it was great to do this podcast for you, the listeners. Thank you for all your support, and
Yes.
I guess we'll chat with you next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be a happy summer.